I think the hype that was built towards the album,
Right.
it did not live up to the hype. Like there is no single song that stands out for me personally to say, yeah, that's a song from the album.
Because we tell ourselves that we want certain things, like consciously, but there are certain subconscious motivations that we actually allow to influence our character and our decisions, and we don't know about it. How do you want us to start this?
Don't worry, we're about to do the intro. Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from. My name is MD90 and you're tuned in to Kutika. Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Yeah, so Kanye just put out an album like 24 hours ago. If you had time to listen to Donda?
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I started listening to it, but I didn't finish.
Based on time or?
No, not that the album was going on forever. So I was listening to it like passively because I was working on stuff while I was listening.
Yeah.
And I caught a couple of things, but I wasn't immersed in the experience. And I feel bad because like it's a brand new album and we've been waiting for a while.
Oh wow, you had about 3 listening sessions and people were like done with it. My own response to I tend to listen to the entire album because the time it came out I was ironing, so I let it play.
Who remembers?
No, everything should add up.
No, I just feel like that ironing session.
I had the time. Let's say I had the time.
That's what you mean to say.
I had the time to listen.
Okay.
So I was playing it and I think the hype that was built towards the album,
right,
it did not live up to the hype. Like there is no single song that stands out for me personally to say, yeah, that's a song from the album. And it's very difficult that you get to like all the songs on the album, but there are those single songs that you say, okay, I have a song on this album. I genuinely do not have
catchment area sort of.
I do not have a single song on that album.
I think I have. Is that the first song or the second? Actually, I didn't know. I don't know the title.
Donda.
No, that's a really weird chant. I'm like, how do you start it? But it's clever. It's clever because like after I listened to it, it started popping in my head.
Donda.
Like I was just there, like Donda. Wait. Donda. What is this? What is happening?
How did Donda come in the picture?
Yeah, I'm just
talk about that ego.
Yeah, I heard Donda and it's just like what's going on here. But yeah, it's an interesting, and also like the chant itself doesn't have like a sort of consistent pattern. It's like Donda. What's happening here? Yeah. Is she calling upon some spirits? I'm now looking for like the meaning of the whole thing. Yeah. But yeah, it was an interesting thing. But the song that I think appealed to me must have been either the first or the second song. And I think what I liked is the production, and also I should say like the production for this album is it's quite interesting. Like it doesn't really sit with the rest of what's happening, like in terms of music.
I had someone give an opinion that he was trying to go back to his past heydays, like when he had those productions. So which made the album dated. You know what I mean? Like
so it sounds like it's been done before. Right. Well, but I don't think going back to what you did or like some inspirational styles necessarily the worst thing. The Weeknd did it, with After Hours, and like that electro kind of, vibe really just brought the album to life. So I don't think it's the idea of going back in time that didn't work. I think maybe the execution, but I should say it kind of has some out of here feel, which to me is a good thing. And it's subjective, but it sounds good. Like I'm like, yeah, this is different. Like whatever kind of different it is, it's different, and different is good.
Different that the public would like. Well, my perspective is this: Kanye has got a reputation, and he already has the clout to say.
Right.
So regardless of what he puts out, the initial punch that he puts out, it always have an audience. That's why you find the album was already number one when it came out. You get the idea, right? It's like when Jay-Z or Beyonce puts up an album. Don't decide to say
the audience already waiting and they're excited.
It's like right now, how people are waiting for Rihanna's album. You know, it's been long time coming. Like when is it coming or whatever. So regardless of
how bad it is,
that initial push, but the longevity of the album. So right now it's on number one. But the question is,
for how long will it be?
Yes, when people settle down,
I think then, like in that regard, there's very few people that actually have the luxury of like that particular effect. Because Eminem's not one of them. Like he has a huge fan base, but he gets critiqued like massive. So like even when MTBMB came out, like people were just waiting to critique it. And I think also we could like draw a lesson from there. Like there's people that criticized the album just when it came out. They were like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. And then like over time, they're like, hey, I had to listen. And that's what M does. Like he layers his stuff. So like over time, you're listening and you're like, hey, I didn't catch this for the past 10 years. How the hell did this just you're like, so maybe Donda is one of maybe.
Nah. Kanye is a very commercial artist. Like there are those artists that you can say, okay, there's depth to this, that there's much more to this, and then there are those artists where what they present is exactly what you get. So if you did not get it from inception, they don't expect to get it.
I don't know just how good that thing would be.
So my rating with Kanye's album is it's not his best work.
Yeah, I also.
What I think hindered him was he put too much pressure on himself. The fact that he named it after his mom, you know.
So that's what that means.
Yes, it's Donda is his mom.
Well, then Chunk doesn't make sense then.
No, he does. He's trying to remember memories. Yes, in terms of the storylines that it catches in the songs, yes, there's some depth to that. But it's commercial success, I doubt it. That's why people the pressure for him to release it now, because you're trying to store it even further than
really
anticipated. But because Drake has the certified lover boy coming up, that pressure was like, you don't want to put an album out in the same month with Drake.
I see.
So based on that pressure, that's why you have to put it.
Okay, but I just have this is like a bit of trivia though. Trivia question. What kind of name is Donda?
I mean, what kind of name is Kanye West? I mean, if we're being objective.
Okay, but it's just so it's interesting that it's the thing that somebody is. This is my daughter. What's her name? Donda.
Okay, Saint West, Northwest. Like you see, this is not new. They've been doing this for centuries.
Anyways, he's representing.
He's running the plan very well, and he just applied to change his name from Kanye West to just Ye. You know, right? Like a couple of weeks ago, if not days ago. Yeah.
You're serious?
Yeah. So if you call him Kanye West, you won't respond. You call him Ye. It's about to get really
spelled.
Yeah, you don't know Kanye.
Accents from France.
I have no idea. But yeah, he's applied in court to have his name changed. Which brings me back to their relationship with Kim. It was recently rumored that they're divorced or they're divorcing, whatever, you don't know, but they're about. But if you look at the dynamic relationship in recent past, it seems like they're back together. But what do you think is going on?
I don't know if you noticed that I'm wearing a certain face. No, I just don't know what's happening. I live under a rock, so I feel like that particular like bit of news really reached my rock.
So they filed for divorce last I checked, or maybe they divorced, whatever.
I thought they were.
Yeah, that's what I thought also. Yeah. But it seems like it's still being negotiated. But here is my view about their lifestyle. Right. These guys have decided to make their life the entertainment of the world. You get what I mean? So at some point, their fame plateaued. You know what I mean? Right. There was a time that Kim would put up a picture and shut down the internet. Like whatever platform that you post that picture on, people, the traffic that will be there will be mad. So. She had that count. And then just like she would go naked or without, and people were like, oh, we've seen that before. So it plateaued for a while. So they needed that rejuvenation, and divorce was the next big headline for them. Yeah. So I don't think the
intention of actually divorcing, but so much just creating a buzz or like newsworthy events. I get that.
So. It looks like they're not getting that divorce, but because they wanted to, they needed a storyline.
But that actually sort of inspires like a thought in me. You know, like with showbiz, right? Like someone's entire life is a show. I mean, virtually.
Yeah.
Just how happy do you think their personal lives, especially their marriages, are? Like just like what are your thoughts? Because like I probably have like really radical thoughts about it. But like, what do you think? Like, is there like actual happiness they achieve, or is it all just
here's my perspective on this. The most happy people, famous people,
right?
You rarely know their spouse. Like for example, if you
serious?
You cannot have two major stars. I think it's only Beyonce and Jay-Z. In their marriage was shaking for a while.
Lemonade.
There are albums that came out of that. But you cannot have like big egos, big stars, major. Everyone knows them, and then they are public about it. Do you see the danger with that? Because it's determined by the public.
That's
if there's an element of content that
there's like drag on both sides.
Yes. Yeah. And then the public decides what they want. If they want to see more about your bedroom lifestyle or how you treat her, or how you speak to each other when you are down, whatever, you give them that. If you don't give them that, they give their attention. That's a danger. You start playing. Man, you're playing in a second.
Game, man. The whole puppet game.
We'll give you the money, all the money that you need,
but you need to want to. And I feel like that's I think one of the conversations that I've been having with myself a lot of late.
We'll be back. Okay, we'll be right back.